Greetings, fellow Southern Cameroonians. Greetings, fellow Southern Cameroonians. This is Capo Daniel. I want to let me just hold on a minute. Let me move this video. That is not the place where I want the video to be. Okay, there we go. Welcome to the People's Platform, fellow Southern Cameroonians at home and abroad, wherever you may find yourself. I am the chairman, Capo Daniel. As you know, this is very early in the morning here in Canada. I'm broadcasting to you all over our territory, especially our people in our villages, all of our lay people them, and those who live abroad. Our political asylum seekers, our refugees, our IDPs, our political prisoners, una all una welcome, una case, una focus it being our focus. Because now una be at the primary victim them for this war we'll get on with La Republique du Cameroon. So I want to salute una all. Today we want to take time for review 20th May. We will show a picture them and video they come from ground zero. And importantly, most importantly, the statement where the American government it publish will be personally posted by Rubio when I be the Secretary of State for the United States of America for the Trump's administration. We go read his statement. I go also read the analysis we will put up after we discuss with some of our partners, and we also go show now the mocking for the 20th May National Day by Sasse College for inside Buea. We will show now the response for Ambazonia fighter for ground zero. We will also show now the protest where the diaspora then taken for inside America being led by the SCNC. And we will show now all these things them and present now analysis with unique perspective from me, Capo Daniel, chairman for PRAP. So all wanna be very welcome. When I notice 20th May, it don't come, it don't pass, we not get those type of threat them against our civilians them who we don't always get them for this struggle where people they threaten people, they say me they no match me, they no do this one. No, it be as a result of our campaign for bring back sanity for our liberation movement, the respect of our people, their right by all Ambazonia movement them. For campaign against 20th May, now a civil campaign we will need for appeal for our people, they meet them voluntarily demonstrate that day, say they don't reject the which way they go on for Cameroon. Because this problem will not be an armed conflict. No, there is an armed conflict going on, but the armed conflict is only a result of the problem where we will face them. So we need to make sure so we instill that word for the heart of all Southern Cameroonians. Nevertheless, there were some armed groups, especially the group of the Ambazonian fighters in Buea, that carried out some actions, which we are going to show. And largely speaking, we see a huge movement of our people participating with uniforms across our territory from most places with the Cameroon organization for this 20th May National Day. It is a big blow for us, Ambazonia. It shows that our people are drifting back to embrace the Cameroon system as it is without any push for any progress for their rights since this Ambazonian uprising. And that is a betrayal of our people by organizations and leaders who have, instead of capitalizing on this struggle, they have turned to egoism, turned to groupism, and they have let down our people. So all wanna be welcome, my country people for ground zero. If you wanna hear me, na Capo Daniel, chairman for PRAP. So today I go take una for show na video them for what will happen for 20th May. MarchPass the way it pass, protest the way they do and for diaspora, action the way Ambazonia fighter and carry on that day for reject 20th May. And first we will start with very big news we come off America. The Secretary of State of America it then released an official statement. It be published for their website, their government website for America for na Rubio. He post them. He never post them for a Twitter, but they don't put them for the American State Department their website. And this statement, find at all for we Ambazonians. Now a very big blow for we. But this one is something where we don't want them for PRAP. We don't want our people to say we go get into a total loss scenario. And Donald Trump administration, they don't change a lot of America and their principle when it comes for pushing for democracy, pushing for human rights across the globe, and it be a very big deviation from the former Trump administration where we know them, and wait to where the Joe Biden it be the do am. So we'll start for this one, and then after we'll go down for sure now how Cameroon is staged this national day. There is no spirit of a national day, both in the Francophone side and the Anglophone side. We will show now that one, and then we will also show now how we were students, the way they participate for the 20th May, how they be the mock Cameroon. And we will show down at Sasse College their MarchPass for Buea. We will also show now our Ambazonia fighter their action them as I don't talk for English, so I'm going to talk also for Pidgin for all our people that meet and sabi wait till it happen. But first, I be sorry say this statement for America, their government, I be write them down. And I also discuss them with our partners them, both for Ground Zero, our various advocate them, lawyer them where they help PRAP, and those big people they help PRAP. And discuss with them so that we get a complete analysis for the implication for this America, their statement where they make them. So I go to read them from my computer when I go to talk so that I'm going to see them. I go to talk them exactly which way would I should don't analyze them, which way mean for which way America they don't talk them. So I go read them for English what the statement of America it did for their website. It be published on 20th May. I go read them as a day. They say, on behalf of the United States of America, this is Marco Rubio, the way on the see picture on a Secretary of State and a big man for America and diplomacy. He say, on behalf of the United States of America, I congratulate the government and people of Cameroon as you celebrate your country 53rd National Day. We proudly affirms our sustained friendship with all Cameroonians, and we look forward to continuing our collaboration in the year ahead to further our security and economic relationships. United States appreciates Cameroon's effort in combating violent extremist organizations and our shared interest in increasing mutuality beneficial economic commercial engagement. We look forward to working with Cameroon in the year ahead to strengthen relationship. So that is the message put out by the United States of America. And this statement, if you notice, it focuses about Cameroon. It talks about Cameroon not as a government, but Cameroon as a country. And this is very important for our people to know. So there are 5 things that comes out from the statement of Marco Rubio. The first thing is that the United States, and this one it be important for our people to know the reality. We need to talk now so the one sugarcoat or the one for support anything now for bring una the reality so that una go fit get una own mind of una own, make decision and assessment for our reality on una own. The first thing he said is he reaffirms Cameroon's sovereignty. For us in PRAP, Cameroon is not La République du Cameroun, as we call it in our movement. Because when we say La République du Cameroun, we mean the Cameroon that we join with, the former French Cameroon. But we have told our people the Charter of PRAP, which reflects the international reality, which is something that we must stand upon, the foundation upon which we can advocate, we can fight for our rights. Cameroon is a super state. A super state means that it is a state that consists of 2 states, the former British Southern Cameroon and the French Cameroon. So with us, Cameroon in PRAP is 2 countries that are made up of this one Cameroon, a new country that was created in 1961. I must reaffirm that for our people that need to understand. So the United States of America reaffirmed the sovereignty of Cameroon. This Cameroon is not former French Cameroon. It is a new country that was created, and we must know this reality. So he said, we've proudly, I'll be reading from my script because it's 2 a.m., you can understand me. It says, we proudly affirms our sustained friendship with all Cameroonians. So this one, the United States recognizing, this is the United States recognition of Cameroon as a United State. That's why he talks about Cameroonian. Implicitly rejecting separatist aspiration, which has always been the position of the United States of America. America do not support separation of Cameroon. And we have tried, even at the peak of their support of our right of self-determination, they have always been for the opinion of our right being accommodated within Cameroon. That one, we should know it. It has not changed. So, the United States, when you talk about all Cameroonians, subtly it signals an inclusivity, but does not acknowledge our distinct Anglophone identity or grievances in this statement, which is a big shift from previous statements made during this day by the United States of America that have previously been calling for the respect of our rights as Anglophones. There is no reference of the humanitarian crisis back home, which have been declared by the United Nations, and that has United Nations agency working on the ground. The United States did not even mention this humanitarian crisis, which should be very concerning because we already have intelligence that the United Nations office in Buea and in Bamenda are working towards closing up their doors. The United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees in Nigeria are also working to shut down their operations for our refugees in Nigeria and Ghana because of lack of funding. In Ghana, mainly from the Ghanaian government, not the UNHCR, but in Nigeria, because of lack of funding, primarily led by Donald Trump's effort to cut off aid to the United Nations. This is very big blow because this will mean total loss. If the humanitarian crisis is forgotten, it means our crisis is completely dead. So the second thing we have to understand in the statement of the United States is its statement regarding security cooperation. It states that we look forward in continuing our collaboration to further our security relationship. The United States greatly appreciate Cameroon's effort in combating violent extremist organization. Violent extremist organization. You know, Cameroon have been fighting against Boko Haram and also increasingly against Ambazonian groups which have become extremists. Some which have been targeted, like Eric Tato in America and Bacho in Norway, primarily for their rule within our struggle. So this statement mentioning extremist organization, as you can hear, the US is framing its engagement primarily around counter-terrorism and regional stability. By praising Cameroon's fight against violence extremist organizations, the US is indirectly engaging in supporting Cameroon's actions on the ground. You people should understand that, which is what we have told our people and warned our people of such consequences when the America that supports us, supports our rights, indicting Biya for war crimes that were being committed, that were being attested to by the Cameroon US ambassador, can also flip to support Cameroon actions against the fight against extremism, stroke terrorism, as he said. So many of Cameroon actions have been directed towards Ambazonians' fight for separation. So this is America indirectly supporting that effort now, which is a huge shift which our people must understand. This is also very problematic because of our simplification of this type of statement by the United States of America also means that it even supports political motivated or defensive actions that the Cameroon take against political party, the arrest of political leaders and all those things that may be going on in Cameroon. This statement may indirectly support or give Biya the impression that America supports its crackdown even against people like Maurice Kamto and other political parties in Cameroon, which is something that we have noticed with the Trump administration because increasingly his love for dictatorships, he makes statements that emboldens dictatorship around the world. His embrace of dictators like Xi Jinping of China, the communist leader of North Korea, Vladimir Putin, is something that is very concerning for the free world. Something that even the European Union is increasingly distancing itself and having cracks with the United States of America, including countries like Australia, New Zealand, and the United Kingdom, based on these differences that are emerging from the United States policy. The third thing is the economic and commercial priorities. As you can hear in the statement where he made, increasing mutual beneficial economic and commercial engagement. The emphasis on economic cooperation signals the US priority to strategic partnership, as we have seen them in Afghanistan, even in Ukraine, talking about deals of economy that have become the primary interest of the United States of America. This reflects the real politics support given based on geopolitical interests and not necessarily on moral grounds. So we are not seeing any moral grounds anymore from the United States. There is no even mention of the peace or negotiation or de-escalation or even mediation effort that was endorsed by the Pope, which we are currently engaging with. And this should show our people that there is no prospect of us getting any third party mediation. Not mediation necessarily. We have facilitation going on now, but not mediation. We will hardly have that when you see America making such statement, ignoring all efforts that we have made. During the Joe Biden administration, they wanted to re-establish financial support for the Cameroon government. We advocated, we successfully blocked those roadblocks that the Joe Biden have put in the IMF. And there is a risk that Trump might just flip everything and just support the regime the way it is going forward. We must understand this reality. The fourth is the silence about the Anglophone crisis, notably the absence of acknowledgement of this conflict, our refugee crisis, as I've mentioned, the call even for political reform, multipartyism. The Cameroon elections are coming. There was no mention about electoral law. The America don't care anymore about electoral fraud in Africa because we have seen many African countries flip to go towards Russia, like we have seen in North America, and they want to keep hold of those countries that are pro-West in Africa. So the lack of engagement with the Ambazonia narrative also will embolden the Cameroon government going forward, which is something our people have to know. And the fifth issue, which is the last issue, is the direct implication for our Ambazonian movement. We have now seen an increased diplomatic isolation, which is something we have predicted. This statement signals that our struggle have lacked the recognition or have lost the recognition, if the little one that we have, and the support of key global partners. The framing of resistance as terrorism by Cameroon seems to have had a huge support from the Trump administration, given their actions, not just these words, directed towards Eric Tato, which is a subject we will have to get into in depth. So those who have committed war crimes, those who have been pursuing extremist policies that are close to that line should be extremely worried that they will have to pay for their crimes, as this thing is saying. So there is a need for strategic reorientation of our struggle. Ambazonian advocates will need to reframe their messaging to distinguish our legitimate self-determination efforts from the violence that have gone to its extreme. As we have seen, Amazonians, activists and movements we appeal to them to follow the line of PRAP and see the danger that our people face, and even our activists that speaks for those people. We don't want them to lose their voice. We don't want to lose their presentation and abroad. So this US statement is a clear diplomatic snub of our Ambazonian struggle. We must acknowledge it and be able to deal with it, because these are consequences of our belligerent actions in negotiation and our approach. I can tell you today, there is no Ambazonian group that have not been approached by the Cameroon government. No, none of them. And all of their reaction have been complain about why Cameroon government is talking to A or B, complain about why Cameroon is using their prime minister. Ridiculous things. So, but we will do that in more in depth when we look at the negotiation that took place in Canada, which I have promised to do. We'll do that, lady. So, in conclusion, it's a wake-up call for intense diplomatic advocacy and for us to highlight the humanitarian crisis that we have, which most of our factions have forgotten. But we have to move forward. So that is it, ladies and gentlemen, about the statement made by Marco Rubio, the United States Secretary of State. It's very powerful and a very serious statement that we must consider, because the America is very consequential when it comes to issues like this. So let's move towards now to the Cameroon 20th May. All we saw from the videos coming is a country that lacks spirit of unity or even nationalism. Cameroonians themselves, they were just partaking in this thing based on those who have been given money to do so, or based on people who have been staging it, as we will see from videos that are coming up from the ground. So let's watch these videos. So these are videos coming up. First in Buea. This one was published by Mememe 4. If I can move my chair so that you people can see. This is a prison van, Buea prison van, that carried prisoners to go and demonstrate and participate in 20th May celebration. So Cameroon lacked people to go and celebrate 20th May. They are now forced to use prisoners. 20th May used to be a day where as a child, we dress up well, nice our police, our white shoes, our canvas, and go to celebrate Cameroon. Hold the Cameroon flag, sing the Cameroon anthem with pride. But today, what we see on the ground is a Cameroon that is desperate to sugarcoat, to whitewash the lack of patriotism from a people who have increasingly see the states distance from them. So this one, I think, where it happened. For Buea, Cameroon go bring a prisoner, they mean they can MarchPass for 20th May. For sure, and I say people, they know they need to support Cameroon with all their heart. People, they need to go celebrate 20th May, they had to be celebrating before. Why? Because that 20th May, it will be a big fraud. It will be the biggest mistake where Cameroon do for try to create a country without the consent of the Anglophone. Yes, it be okay, say, the president of Cameroon will decide, say, me then create a unique country where you go bring the Anglophone and Cameroon, bring a unique identity for the Cameroon. But that cannot be done without the consent of the Anglophones or at the expense of Anglophones' identity. This emerging Cameroon will come from 1972, where then come say, may we become now a Francophonized. The poor Biya system, it don't testify, say there was an agenda to assimilate us Anglophone into the Francophones' way of life and style of government, which is something that was against the unity pact that we have in Fumban Conference and the pre-Fumban Conference agreement we made with them. It was a violation. It was a breaking of a promise. It is an injustice. So there is no way we can move forward and people will feel 20th May is a celebration of our unity day. The day we unite with Cameroon was on 1st of October, where the United Nations Treaty, United Nations mandate for unity kick effect. Cameroon National Day is the 1st of October. That is the day Cameroon was created, this modern Cameroon from the two countries. And we'll continue to advocate that Cameroon should drop this 20th May and embrace its true history that celebrates the decision made by Anglophones to join them as brothers and work as equal partners. Until there is a respect for the Anglophones' right and recognition of our history and the history of Cameroon, all what we'll see will be a facade that can never last forever. It will never last forever. It will crumble. Cameroon must be able to look back in its history, look at the mistakes made by this new nation that was created by Paul Biya in 1972 in his own image. He has accepted that it was a failed policy to assimilate Anglophones. Now he must do the hard work to remedy that mistake that they made, that injustice that was done. All the grievances, the boys that have been fighting, all these things is as a result of that hidden agenda of assimilation. We must face this fact as Cameroonians, both Anglophone and Francophone. Our people in Anglophone region, our eyes are open. There is no way we can embrace 20th May with our spirit when we know that it was an injustice to our people. If there is going to be a Cameroon that is united, a Cameroon that is united must be based on a Cameroon that acknowledges the unit that forms that state. That is why PRAP we have proposed devolution of Cameroon, constitutional amendment that recognizes Southern Cameroon as a entity that came in union with Cameroon. So these are the reality. These are the reality we must face. And these are the pragmatic solutions our people must embrace going forward. The protection of our identity. So I want to show you more of the videos so that if you see them. So this is Cameroon. You see, je vote pour Biya.
Bonjour.
So this one are for Francophone region.
Non, je sais, moi je t'ai reconnu. Je t'ai reconnu.
So they pay people, then they wear one uniform, go march, come back, can't take another uniform as soon as they scam, go back. Because the Cameroonian and the Francophone them, they need to see any nation where they celebrate them because there is no historical justification for 20th May as it is for the National Day of Cameroon, which is 1st of October. So we must also know that Francophones see it. They make mockery of it. That's why they recorded this video, to show the world that those people who are parading on the streets in Buea, parading in Yaoundé, they are not doing so for any patriotic reason, because this is a country now that is built on a sandy ground. So let's move on. And we go now to
Joseph's College, Sasse.
So this is Sasse students marching on 20th May in front of Cameroon government officials, making mockery of Cameroon on this national day. Look at the way they are marching. If you notice that the style they march, they try to mimic KCO, who always imitate Paul Biya when he make that his music called "We Thank the Head of State." So these are Sasse students making mockery. They are forcing that they must march. There is no way for them. But this is the Anglophone resistance. And our people have to know that resistance comes in many forms. Don't go and hurt somebody because the person participated in 20th May. No. Even though they participate, because they don't have any choice. But our voices and our crises must transform the way we advocate it and the way we put it. Because the armed conflict have failed. And we must tend towards non-violence way, and a way that is incorporating all the various segments of our people. Look at our students in Sasse. This is resistance. Look at them making mockery of Paul Biya. Remember the old man walking like that. Let's watch the video. So even the MarchPass itself carries a message of resistance by our people, because we cannot accept a situation where we are put as minority that can be crushed. The bilingualism that is being imposed by the New Deal from the special status says that English and French, when there is conflict, French will dominate, even in our own Anglophone zone. So French is still the dominant language. That is exactly the Anglophone crisis. So let's watch how the MarchPass took place in Buea.
Signature march passed on May 20th, 2025, Buea, Cameroon.
And the teachers, they know what they are doing, because look at the guy that they put in front of the MarchPass. It looked like a fool, and like somebody who have is like a special needs child. And that is to show the Cameroon that we are not putting our best in front. We are making mockery because we know that this system does not reflect our own culture. It does not, it rejects our own unique identity. Even though they claim that they have awarded the special status, it is nothing but a mockery. So let's look at how the students in Sasse, they send out a message of resistance. Yes, MarchPass the Buea. They are showing all the old people in Cameroon. Cameroon is a country that the government is full of old people. Sorry, I mistakenly pulled the video. So let me get it back.
Bonjour.
So they are making a mockery of Cameroon. Let me wipe the volume out. The MarchPass was a mockery for Cameroon. Yes, I will acknowledge, I will show the other videos where there were good MarchPass in other places so that people can see that we are fair. And our Ambazonian fighters, their action. But the MarchPass was a mockery. It was a message of resistance. That we Anglophones, look at it, look how he bend his shoes, it trouser. For sure, how did he mock Cameroons in a country being ruled by the living dead? Old people in the Senate, old peoples in every places, the new generation have no place in that country. Look how they are mocking Cameroon. See? That is resistance. That should send a message to Yaoundé and the international community that the rights of the Anglophones in Cameroon will not be put under the bus. We will not disappear. We are a people entitled to our right, and what we demand are something that is reasonable and something that is ours. And we are not going to be put under the bus forever. So those are our best of the best in Sasse, taking part in MarchPass. And I also want to show you people the actions taken by some Ambazonia armed forces on ground zero to launch an attack. This attack does not affect civilians in any way. Judging from that video, it looked like some type of explosion that was targeting, I don't know whether you could see whether there were people there or not, but it shows an explosion carried out in Buea. You hear from the background.
20th of May 2025, this one a Major General talk and do live for company for topic. Check it no day. Una go take una eye chop Christmas. And them this way they don't the inter target. And them.
So I just I cut the part where you get those other things, and because of YouTube, this platform do not allow those graphic things. But it shows say Ambazonian fighters them mainly for Buea, then carry out action them targeting celebration. But we should know something. Even in the Ukraine war, Ukraine do not attack Russia during their MarchPass for their National Day. And we should understand these rules. You cannot attack national parades. You don't attack parades. It's a war crime to attack parades. It's not allowed to attack parades. We must always tell this to educate our people. You have never seen Cameroon attacking Ambazonian parade on 1st of October. Don't think that they cannot. They can go to the field where we are doing our MarchPass and attack us. There is a reason why they don't do that. Because that is a gross violation of human rights that the international community will never look at it in a positive light. Our soldiers on the ground should be educated to know that. We campaign against this type of days, not by using bombs and guns, but by educating our people to boycott it. That is more effective than doing any of these things that has been done. But this shows again once more the need for a negotiated settlement. Cameroon should never think that their imposed half-baked solution will ever pass with our people. They see it for what it is. Shit status. So let's watch the video and we'll go ahead to the actual MarchPass that was really, really successful in many parts that we saw. So this is a MarchPass. I choose this one because it's from my own village so that people can know what is going on. This is from my own village. We see say people that don't begin come back the march with school uniform. Even picking the way they need to go for school uniform, they can march with school uniform for plenty places. Because say they no be they don't see say we our Ambazonian struggle it don't fail already. The independence need to come. Then do them would have they not get no choice. I will not blame them. But they will not mean say we don't lost. Our people they need to understand. This 20th May celebration when I only student then go for day, you don't see any vibrant community them. You don't see any civil society them. You don't see any political party the way they take part in any significant way. It is shown now say our people then the resistance is still go on. Yes, our Ambazonian activists and other organizations need to recognize the reality of this shift on ground zero. That we have to come together again and look into how we can get a new social contract to be able to live together with Francophones. It is something we don't have any choice. That is the only way we can preserve our rights for self-determination and our identity. Because the armed conflict definitely have been rejected by our people due to the type of actions that we have seen perpetrated by some activists in the name of freeing our people, targeting our own very people. So this is inevitable. And I want to let our people to know that I stand with you. Do not be ashamed. Do not be ashamed. This is the only way we can do to move forward. I also here in Canada, I participated in there is a Cameroon association here in Edmonton that called for all Cameroonians to come together to celebrate a national day. I also went there. I met Francophones. I spoke to them about our plight and I tell them what this day means. We can no longer speak from outside. There is no other way. Nobody can articulate any way we can get the international community to mediate as us speaking from outside as separatist group. No. We must recognize our failures, our shortcomings, and see how we can make progress for our people. Otherwise, we are going to leave them in the hands of Cameroon Francophones regime machines. Remember that the biggest problem we see in Cameroon today is not just poor beer, trust me. It stems from the lack of concession by the UPC. The Cameroon we see today made of Sardina was because when the UPC picked up arms against Cameroon after their independence and fought for many years to fight for total freedom, they burned down Douala. The French government came to negotiate with them. UPC rejected negotiation until the last man standing, Ernest Wani, was killed in Bafoussam. What happened? It was complete capitulation. They went to transform their population into sardinat, into mutongs. Patriotic spirit in Cameroon do not exist. There is no way for even a military takeover to protect the public interest in Cameroon. Why? Because there was a failed movement for freedom that failed to negotiate. All the countries that you have been able to see nationalism, like Senegal, like Chad, even Burkina Faso, these are countries, when they were fighting for their independence, they could not win militarily. They decided to go into negotiation because there is serious ramification if we lose a war. And if we allow this situation to go to a total loss, our people will lack that spirit of patriotism again. The new generation that will be born, the idea of Ambazonia will be so hated in their mind. Cameroon, they are calling their freedom fighters maquisards, bush people. In Ambazonia, it will be worse if we are not careful to come back and negotiate and end and be part of the solution, which is what PRAP is all about. So let me show you the MarchPass also so that you people see what is going on. This is a reality. And you cannot go back and reverse this reality on the ground. You can only see how you can give our people who are now dying in silence, protesting in silence, give them a voice, give them a better deal. So this is the reality on the ground. Technical schools, they are not putting on their uniform to go to school, obviously. They don't hoist Cameroon flag, obviously. But now they are forced to do this parade, this walk of shame. It's not only the students. We have also seen our chiefs in the southwest being humiliated, made to wear to march past on 20th May. Traditional rulers. How humiliating is that for all of us? And it's going to get worse. We must realize that we are now seen as a belligerent, as the enemy of the state, and our people will suffer for the next generation of such humiliation if we do not come and seek a better place in that country and not speak as people who are outsider. Because we have a place in that country. Yes, we have a place in that country. It does not belong to the Francophones, and we should not make the mistake to allow it in their hands. Our elites who have sold themselves don't even want us to come back and be players to speak for our people. They don't even want the voice to go back to the grassroots, which is what we represent. So now I want to take it to the diaspora. Our diaspora also had a big protest in America, led primarily by SCNC. And as you can hear from their speeches, it was not about our refugees back in Nigeria. It was not about our IDP, or political prisoners or our aspiration, but it was all about their asylum cases in America. Take a listen.
Our people have one big appeal to make. Would have had more than 1,000 Southern Cameroonians here on this law. But unfortunately, they are not here today. Many of them are scared that if they come, they will be arrested.
So, as soon as you hear the person where they talk for the campaign, he talks a plenty Southern Cameroonians if come for them for come protest for America. But plenty they need to come because they fear if they come for them, they go arrest them. Because Trump he done reverse that protection for refugee where they be guarantee them for Southern Cameroonians and for America. So me gonna hear.
They are here on this law. But unfortunately, they are not here today. Many of them are scared that if they come, they will be arrested. Because of the current deportation scheme, our people are fighting to be here. We are not economic refugees. We are refugees. We are refugees here because we have no choice other than to be here. And we are calling on the Trump administration to reinstitute the TPS, temporary protective status, so that Southern Cameroonians can benefit.
So the talk say me Trump he reinstate the TPS. So most of our refugees in abroad, they are more focused about their own immediate interests, about their own protection abroad because they cannot go home because of threat that they face from being arrested at the airport, as we have seen many people have been arrested in the airport and they get disappeared. And many people have been turning towards the SCNC. And this is the reason why you see people like Evis Kumeta doing what they are doing, because they are business people trading SCNC cards in America for huge sum of money. for them to continue to live like that. It has nothing to do with our people. That's why you see him behaving the way he is. He's crooked politician. That's why you see him with Akwanga and all those people. So this is what is happening. Everybody for themselves. Our people are left on their own. So that is what happened in America. I want our people to...
They cannot go back to Cameroon. Because if they go back to Cameroon, they will be killed. As a matter of fact, they will use their bodies, they will put their head on a stick and bend their bodies. They cannot go back to Cameroon. Those who are participating in demonstrations here in the United States are perceived as tarnishing the international image of Cameroon abroad. And that is what every dictator does. But we're happy that we're in the United States of America. We are happy that the enabling political climate that we enjoy here in the United States of America gives our people an opportunity to articulate their concerns, to express their voices, and we are happy that the U.S. government is going to do everything possible to rescue the plight of southern Cameroonians, because there are people deserving of freedom. There are people who need to be supported in times like this. We don't want another genocide in Africa. Unfortunately, we are facing one in our own territory. And we are calling on the United States government to intervene and rescue an unfortunate and grave situation. Our people need assistance. Our people need support. It is just for the sake of humanity that a big nation like this beautiful country can intervene to rescue our situation. I hope that our new president, President Trump, actually get what we are saying and intervene to rescue this situation. And know for a fact that he's a no-nonsense president. And know for a fact that he will do whatever.
So, my fellow country people them. Now wait till that way to go on for this 20th May. When I see the response from the United States of America, the Secretary of State Rubio, Marco Rubio, his statement, he don't come now for instance support Cameroon, their actions for ground, and for further isolate our problem, ignoring the humanitarian crisis and our Anglophone identity, which is something that we have predicted. But all is not lost. If our people, they fall behind the PRAP initiative to go in for direct negotiation, and we didn't do that because we are weak. We did that because strength is standing with your people, even at your own cost. We must be able to put our people's interests first. You have seen our people in the diaspora. They are more worried about being repatriated back home because of the change of tides. The world is a changing place, and there is nobody there to speak for us. But we will continue to advocate for our people's right. We will continue to push and pursue even the current path which we pursue and provide leadership in very, very strenuous environment, because other Ambazonian groups are still in their own cocoons. Majority of our leaders have not come to the realization of our situation, which we must come to the realization and pursue our public interest and give a voice to our grassroots and make sure that their voice is heard, make sure that their grievances are being elevated, giving them a chance to live in a country that will be better than the one that we lived in, and their rights being acknowledged and enjoyed like the rights of other minorities and indigenous people across the globe. So God bless you all. Have a wonderful day. And for our people, be resilient and stand for your right. We will stand with you for your right in legitimate ways and continue to push it. God bless you all. Have a wonderful day. Ciao.